So, Michael, how did you get into the tax problem resolution niche to begin with?
It's a great question. Well, let's go back in time a little bit to like May of 1998. Actually, I call it Black Monday. It's May 19th, 1998. And to back up even a little further, I was a CFO of a company, and they brought me in to clean up the books. It was a mess. The staff needed to be changed out. It took me probably a good 6 to 9 to 12 months to get them in shape. And once I got them into shape, they had an IRS audit, and I was the chosen one, being the CFO of the company. And their proposed assessment was initially $10 or $12 million. I can't remember exactly what the number was. And I never dealt with the IRS before. But what I did was I did a lot of research. I did a lot of educating myself. And what I found was the law was on my side. And I was able to bring down that proposed liability of $10 million to like $40,000 or $50,000. And my boss at the time gave me a big slap on the back and said, "Mike, that was a great job." And the other thing, too, is during this time, I cleaned them up to a point where the place was running like a Swiss clock. And I took a vacation, about a 7-day vacation. I come back from the vacation, which was Monday, May 19th, and they said, "Mike, we no longer require your services anymore." So rule number one, if you go to work for somebody, always have something booby-trapped so that you know that you can come back and fix it. If you fix them up like a Swiss clock, you're apt not to have a job any longer. That's been my experience. I don't know about anyone else's, but that's mine. And I got in my car, and you know what? There was no advance warning. There was no severance pay. There was no nothing. As a matter of fact, I was also about $100,000 in debt. I had my lovely wife, who I'm still married to, 2 young daughters, and a mortgage. And at that point, I didn't know where the money was coming from to make the June mortgage payment. And my wife and I were visiting bankruptcy attorneys, consulting with them. And I was about 2 or 3 weeks away from filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And during this ride home from being fired at the job, I pulled my car over and I swore, I just sat there, I don't know how long I was in my car, and I swore I would never work for anybody ever again. And then it hit me. I remember seeing the Senate Finance televised hearings in the fall of 1997 when the average American got up in front of Congress on the TV and testified how the unruly, yielding arm of the IRS ruined these people's lives. And I was always fighting for the little guy. I always liked a good fight. I consider myself an underdog, and I always wanted to fight for the underdog. And when someone was going up against the IRS, it was the David versus Goliath battle. So I felt compelled to help people. And that's one of the reasons I got into this niche in the first place. I was actually looking for office space in June of 1998, a small office, about 400 square feet. And the guy showing me office space said, "Mike, I got this friend. His name is Lewis. He's a musician. They just emptied his bank account. He owes about $40,000 to the IRS. Do you think you can help him?" And I said, "Yeah." And I had no idea on how to help him. But I learned. I did my first offering compromise on my dining room table. I think we settled his case for $2,500. We got him filed. He had 3 or 4 years of unfiled returns. And it was one of the most self-rewarding feelings in the world, helping this individual get out from under the IRS's thumb. And most people that have IRS problems also have other problems in their life. Having IRS problems affects every aspect of one's life. They usually have other debt problems. Their relationships with their spouse or significant other is strained. And that's why I got into it. That is the reason I got into it, is to helping other people, to provide exceptional value to clients. And I saw an opportunity to change my life for the better as well. And both of those things have come true, beyond my wildest dreams.